You are about to lose 10 IQ points in the next 10 seconds just by reading this sentence on a phone that's buzzing in your pocket. It's not a metaphor. That's a measured drop in working memory the second your attention splits. Now, think about the last time you sat down to learn something. And 20 minutes later, your mind was somewhere else, foggy, slow, like wading through mud just to remember a name, fact, face you just saw 5 minutes ago. Here's what almost nobody tells you. That's not a lack of intelligence. That's a wiring problem. And wiring problems can be undone. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact 4 methods neuroscientists use to rewire it, starting right now. Here's what nobody tells you. Your attention span didn't just shrink by accident. Think about the last book you tried to read. You get to the bottom of the page, and you realize you don't remember a single word. So you go back, read it again, and somehow it still doesn't stick. Or you sit down to work, really focus, and 12 minutes later you're checking your phone for no reason at all. Not because you're weak-willed, because something in your brain has quietly been rewired to fracture. And here's the part that keeps people stuck for years. Most people think this means they're just bad at learning, bad at focusing, built differently than the people who seem to absorb everything effortlessly. But that belief is the real problem, because this isn't a personality flaw, it's a mechanical one. And mechanical problems can be fixed. Which raises the real question. If it's not about intelligence, what is it about? So what actually separates a sharp mind from a foggy one? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's something far more mechanical and far more learnable. Neuroscientists call it neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to physically rewire itself based on how you use it. Every time you focus deeply, your brain strengthens a fatty layer called myelin around the neurons involved, literally making that skill faster and more automatic. This is why elite chess players, top athletes, and world-class polymaths aren't necessarily born gifted. Many of them trained their working memory and focus with the same deliberate precision you'd use to train a muscle, which means the gap between a cluttered mind and a razor-sharp one isn't genetics, it's technique. And once you see it that way, everything changes. So here's the system, not random tips you'll forget by tomorrow, a framework. 4 methods, each one targeting a completely different part of how your brain absorbs, stores, and recalls information. One rewires how fast you learn. Another rewires how long you remember. The third fixes your focus at the source. And the fourth is the one almost nobody talks about, the one that ties the other 3 together. We'll go through each one at a time. But the moment you understand method number 3, you'll realize why nothing you've tried before ever really stuck. Let's start with the first one. Method 1 is called active recall, and it's the exact opposite of how most people try to learn. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. You read something, then you read it again. It feels familiar, so your brain tricks you into thinking you know it. But recognition is not the same as memory. Active recall flips the process. Instead of rereading, you close the material and force your brain to retrieve it from scratch. That struggle to remember, that's not failure. That's the exact moment your brain is rewiring itself to hold on to it. Picture a student who reads a chapter 5 times versus one who reads it once, then quizzes themselves. The second one remembers it weeks later. The first one forgets it by dinner. One tiny shift, a completely different result. And that's just method 1. Method 2 goes even deeper. Method 2 is spaced repetition, and it explains why cramming has been failing you your entire life. When you cram the night before an exam, it feels productive. Information is going in, but your brain treats crammed information as temporary, like a note written in sand right before the tide comes in. Here's why. Memory doesn't consolidate in one sitting. It consolidates in the gaps, during sleep, during the pauses between study sessions. That's when your brain quietly moves information from short-term storage into long-term memory. So instead of studying something once for 3 hours, you study it for 20 minutes, then again 2 days later, then again a week after that. Each gap forces your brain to reach a little further to retrieve it, and that reach is what makes the memory permanent. It feels slower. It's not. It's the difference between memory that fades by Friday and memory that lasts for years. But there's a problem even spaced repetition can't fix on its own, and Method 3 solves it. Method 3 is dual coding, and this is the one that changes everything spaced repetition couldn't fix on its own. Here's the problem. You can space out your studying perfectly and still lose the information because your brain only stored it one way, in words. And words alone are fragile. They're the first thing to blur when you're tired, stressed, or under pressure. Dual coding means pairing language with imagery, not just reading that the heart has 4 chambers, but picturing it, seeing the blood move, building a mental movie instead of a mental sentence. Think of it like this. A word is a single thread. An image is a rope made of a dozen threads woven together. Cut one thread, the rest still hold. That's why people who turn information into diagrams, mental pictures, even absurd visual stories recall it faster and keep it longer than people who just read the words on a page. This is also the method that starts connecting everything else together, which brings us to the final piece. Method 4 is cognitive load management, and this is the one nobody talks about. It's not something you do, it's something you remove. Here's the truth. Your brain has a fixed amount of working memory at any given moment. It's like RAM on a computer, a fixed amount of space to hold and process information. Every notification, every open tab, every half-finished thought sitting in the back of your mind, it's all quietly eating into that space. You could use active recall, space out your studying perfectly, turn every concept into a vivid image, but if your working memory is already cluttered with noise, none of it lands the way it should. That's why Method 4 is the multiplier. Clear the clutter, single task, remove distractions, offload what doesn't need to be held in your head, and suddenly, the other 3 methods work faster, stick longer, and feel almost effortless. This is the missing piece, the one that turns 4 separate techniques into one complete system, the exact rewiring your brain has been waiting for since the very first second of this video. And here's the realization that changes everything. This was never about intelligence. Active recall, spaced repetition, dual coding, cognitive load management. 4 methods, but really 1 shift. Your brain isn't a fixed container you either got lucky with or didn't. It's a system, and systems respond to training. So if you've ever sat there frustrated, wondering why information slips through your fingers while other people seem to absorb it effortlessly, hear this clearly. You were never slow. You were untrained. And now you're not. So let's bring it all together. Active recall, test yourself instead of rereading. Spaced repetition, space it out so it sticks for years, not days. Dual coding, turn words into images your brain can't let go of. And cognitive load management, clear the noise so everything else actually works. 4 methods, 1 system, the difference between mental fog and mental speed. Now imagine applying this for just 30 days. Not perfectly, just consistently. That version of you is closer than you think. So tell me, out of these 4, which one are you trying first? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them. And if you want the deeper neuroscience behind all of this, the exact mechanisms, the research, the part I couldn't fit into one video, subscribe, because part 2 goes even further, and what I found there might change how you see your own mind completely.